welcome back to the Kick-Ass Kitchen. If you're new here, hello, my name is Erica. I'm so glad that you watched my video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. That'd be really cool. And hopefully you just stick around and check out some of my other videos as well. Today, we are taking you through, it's just me. Me is taking you through, that sounds goofy. Today, oh no! I think there's a stain. So, today I am taking you through 3.5 quick and easy breakfasts. I say 3.5 because I want to show you my protein coffee, but I wouldn't really count protein coffee as a full breakfast. Yes, it provides a decent amount of calories, and because of the protein, it does fill you up pretty well for quite some time, but it's not really a full, balanced, satiating breakfast. So, I'm counting that as kind of a half. So we actually are going to start with that. It is very easy, and all these recipes are pretty easy. They're things that I have most days, one or the other. All these recipes are pretty quick and easy to make. The longest one takes, I think, is about 15 minutes. So, and even that, it's pretty hands-free. Pop it in the air fryer and just get to your life. So, without a doubt, we are going to start. And we're going to start with first, the protein coffee. Starting off with your protein coffee, you're gonna need a cup with some ice to be a little bit more artsy-fartsy aesthetic. Pop it in a mason jar or it's actually a recycled almond butter jar because we recycle up in this bitch. So start with this. You can do it hot as well. It would just be hot coffee. And that's just how you start. I personally love Stok Cold Brew the best. The teal bottle is the one I always go for. And I'm gonna fill my cup about halfway. A little bit more than halfway. So about 3/4 of the way. Put that aside. Then, next up, you're gonna grab your cup. I personally use my blender. I know a lot of people who have like a magic wand whisker thing that they'll just use and blend it all together. I personally think that it's the best if you do it's the best if you use 2 different cups no matter what your tool is, because I feel like it does give it a latte frothy foamy effect. So you're gonna start with your milk. My milk of choice lately has been Chobani Oat Plain Extra Creamy. It is a little bit higher in calories, so it's 120 calories for 1 cup. 9 grams of fat, 11 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein. You can obviously switch it up with whatever milk you want. I do find that oat milk is the best when it comes to blending because it makes it a little bit more frothy. And you know, if you're dairy free, obviously normal milk will make it nice and frothy as well, but oat milk is the best alternative in terms of that consistency. Almond milk works great too and is much lower in calories if you're looking for those swaps. I personally don't mind the little bit of extra calories for myself. So fill the cup with about to there, so about 1/3. As you can tell, we're not the biggest on like legit measurements up in the Kick-Ass Kitchen. So my favorite protein, like almost of all time, is the salted caramel by My Protein. You definitely, if you've been here before, you've definitely heard me talk about it. So just 1 scoop, pop it in the cup with milk. If you want to elevate your protein coffee even more, I like adding a little bit of the toffee Flav Drops. They are 0 calories, 0 sugar, and I don't go too crazy because they are really strong, so I do about, I don't know, I think I put like 3 or 4 drops in there. And then you just pop the lid on and pop it in the mixer. So, as you can see, I think you can see it with the light, it basically doubled in volume. We only had liquid to about here, and once you blend it, all that air gets in there, kind of froths it up a bit. And then my personal favorite part, maybe let's bring you in for a close-up, is then I'll pour it over my coffee, and I'll show you guys. So when you pour it over, it does create like a latte effect where the foam kind of just sits on top a little bit more. It does slowly mix in the more you drink it, but I personally don't really like to mix it again. I know some people will then take, if they have the little wand mixer, they'll give it another few mixes. I don't do that. I literally just pop a straw in it and I get to sip in. For me, again, I say this is not like a full-on breakfast, but I do start my mornings a lot of times with this, and maybe about an hour later then I'll go for like a more satiating meal. But it does kind of start my day nicely and give me a bit more extra calories and start my day with some nice protein, especially after a workout, because after a workout, your body craves protein. Yeah! Okay, next up, we have a good old classic oatmeal. I love oatmeal. I could literally eat oatmeal every day, and I do eat oatmeal almost every day. If I don't have it for breakfast, I might have it for a snack. Oatmeal is really nice because, again, you can, like my oats, you can just add hot water and let it sit for like a minute or two and then start eating. I do personally like to make them on the stove. I just like the way that the milk gets in there. So I use a half cup exactly. And then with my milk, again, we don't really measure too much, but we do fill it up so that the oats are fully covered, so that you know that there is a decent amount in there milk-wise. And then we just let that sit. When it comes to oatmeal, it's also a lot of what the toppings are. I don't really like to add protein to my oatmeal unless I'm doing overnight oats, which I can show you overnight oats in another video. Comment down below. So for me with the toppings, they're going to be nice and simple. Some chia seeds, some berries, and probably a nut butter. And yeah, keep it kind of simple, but again, play around with the different flavors, find different things that worked for you. Alright, next up, we are going to make a smoothie. I've said it once, I'll say it again. The key to a perfect smoothie is the consistency for me. So, again, start with your cup with a blender bottle. Whoop. Air fryer. So, you want to use a good mix of both fresh and frozen fruit. So I personally have a berry medley, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. I am definitely more of a berry girl compared to like a tropical fruit gal. Though if you've seen some of my other videos, I've been making this actual tropical kind of style smoothie lately. But this is probably the smoothie that owns my heart. Okay, you want to fill the cup about halfway with your frozens, and then we're going to add some additional bloobs, because again, you want a mix of both fresh and frozen. It's fun, you want some of them to fill kind of some of those holes, so. Okay. Again, we're going to use our oat milk, like I said before, if you want to use an almond milk if you're dairy free for less calories, or other forms of milk, obviously, because there are tons. But you're going to fill your milk about halfway, because you want to cover that frozen fruit and not too much. We are going to add some protein. You do not have to add protein, but again, I'm going to add the salted caramel by My Protein. I also really love doing this one with like just plain chocolate or vanilla. And we are going to get a little cheeky and add just a teaspoon-ish of Nutella. Add that in there. Lick the spoon for good luck. And one. Okay, and as you can see, it doesn't move around too much when you flip it over, which is good. That always kind of tells us we have a decent consistency. And I just also love the color. That's how you know also when you're getting a good one. So see, it's not too liquidy. It's nice and thick, but it's really cold, and it's going to be nice and frozen. Oh, delicious. All right, and then we've got a delicious, amazing smoothie. So with the oatmeal, it is done. I'm about to take it off, but I always like to start with nut butter personally. So I add a, well, kind of like a healthy tablespoon, and I put that in the bowl first because the oats are gonna be so hot that then when we put the oats into the bowl, it'll kind of help to melt the nut butter. So because you put it in there first, then when you put the oats in, you want to mix it up. I like to mix it up, that way the flavor gets all throughout. You can see the steam coming off of it. So about a serving of chia seeds, some blueberries, raspberries, cinnamon, or we'll actually use something called pie spice. This is not going to be the most presentable aesthetic. Oh, we lost a bloob. We lost a bloob. This is not going to be the most presentable or aesthetic breakfast because, well, that's just really not how we do things over here. We make things for taste, convenience. We don't always care if it's pretty because life isn't always pretty. Well, get some berries, get some berries. So like I said, I use pie spice. I love it. It's a mix of cinnamon, vanilla sugar, nutmeg, cardamom. Give it a little sprinkle on top, little sprinkle on top, little sprinkle on top. And we are going to finish that off with a teaspoon of Biscoff. But key to that is you want to melt it in the microwave for like 10 seconds because then you want to drizzle it on top. Drizzle it on top, drizzle it on top. And I just want to say, I think a lot of these can be made vegan. So, for example, the oatmeal actually is vegan because Biscoff's bread is vegan, and the almond butter I have is like all natural and vegan. So the oatmeal is vegan. The protein coffee can be vegan if you use vegan protein. And same thing with the smoothie, just don't add the Nutella. But besides that, these can all be easily made vegan or veggie friendly. So last but not least, we have a breakfast bowl. So what we're going to do with that, we're going to go in with, let's go with 2 eggs today. So 2 eggs in a pan, and then you're also going to pop in some egg whites. This is technically the one that takes the longest. This takes about 15 minutes only because I always like having the base as like potato or tater tot. So we've already got those. Today we're doing tater tots. We already have them in the air fryer. They're actually almost done. And then you're going to add extra egg whites, essentially just for extra protein. You've got your tater tots done. I like to add a bit of peri-peri salt to it because I just like the way it gives it a little bit of a kick. I'm also a big, if you don't have peri-peri salt, I'm also a big fan of a little bit of chili powder because again, I just love that little bit of a kick, you know, a little bit of a kick. And then you're gonna add your eggs. I also added spinach. Some of my favorite combos to do with this are gonna be spinach, mushrooms, butternut squash, sometimes tomatoes. Oh, I don't really like tomato and butternut squash together too much. But then you're just gonna pop that on top. I will say I think I went a little bit overboard. Egg down, egg down. A little bit overboard on the tater tots, but that's just how we roll. Then, I love goat cheese personally. It's one of my favorites. Also, feta works really well with this. And just put some on top. There we go. We're all done with that one too. That is it for me today. I really hope you liked this video. I hope you maybe found some different ideas to switch up your breakfast. And they're all pretty easy to make. They're all pretty healthy. And they all don't use too many ingredients, which is all what I'm very much about. I'm simple, delicious convenience. That's what we are about in the Kick-Ass Kitchen. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment as well, and tell me something you liked about it. And if you've made it this far, comment tater tot, because we're gonna munch on a lot of those. And, you know, please subscribe if you're new. And with that, I'm just gonna say goodbye. Because I live alone, I now have to eat all of these breakfasts. Halfway through, though. Halfway through. Just really just have the oatmeal left. The things we do for YouTube.